In this video, we're going to be integrating our Festo Didactic MecLab Stack magazine with our PLC trainer. Previously, we wired Festo's conveyor trainer to our PLC trainer, and that is still connected. And you will actually use the same wiring that we did in it. Now, just in case you're coming to this without using the conveyor trainer, let's talk about how we did it. On our conveyor trainer, we wired input 0 and input 1 for the two-part present, and we had three outputs: our conveyor solenoid, conveyor run, and conveyor reverse. Festo's Stack magazine has three outputs, so we're going to use the exact same outputs we did previously. And we're going to leave these two inputs wired because they're not going to hurt anything just sitting here connected. Now, there is a little bit more to it than that. And so if you go to our getting started diagram, in addition to the Festo wiring, we did wire our getting started wiring plus switch 4 left and right. So here is the getting started diagram. We're going to take buttons 1 through switch 1 to inputs 9 through 8, and then switch 4 left to input 9, switch 4 right to input 10. Outputs 0 through 3 are going to lights 1 through 4. And most importantly, we need these power jumpers connected. We want to take plus CM0 and plus CM1 and connect them to our plus 24 volt. And then COM0, COM1, minus CM0, and minus CM1, all are going to go to the minus 24. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the breakout module that is on the Festo trainer. All of Festo's I/O come down to these I/O modules. This is a Festo MPV-E-A12M8, and the even numbers are going to be wired to your inputs. The odd numbers are going to be wired to your outputs. Right now we don't have any inputs, so we won't have any wires here. We are using 1, 3, and 5 on the output side. And here are the details of that I/O module. Now, the one catch on this is while they're labeled 1, 3, and 5, in fact, if we zoom in a little bit, make sure you can see that. It says 1, 3, and 5. Where they're actually numbered out, they are 2, 4, and 6. And if we look down here, 2, 4, and 6 are going to be pin numbers 2, 4, and 6, coincidentally. And then we also need to put our plus 24 and 0 volt on. Now notice pin 1 on all of them use the same 24 volt, and it's always pin 13. And our 0 volt is 14 and 15. You can choose either one. So going back over to our I/O chart, we need to put plus 24 volt on 13. And if you use the cable I put down in the description, it will be the white wire. Pin 14 will go on the 0 volt. That'll be the pink wire. And then we need pins 2, 4, and 6. Black and white, brown and white, and red and white. And we are going to wire those to inputs 4, 5, and 6. Now, before we do anything else, let's test this I/O. Go File, New, and I am going to call this the Festo Stack magazine. Then select Controllers, Micro850, and in our case, we have an L50E, and it's a 2080 L50E 24 QBB. We're going to hit Select and Add to Project. And then before we do anything else, because I almost forgot it here, we need to enter the IP address of our PLC, because notice it defaulted to DHCP. And even in the conveyor video previously, I accidentally left this like this. So I did show you how to get out of it. You can go back and check it out. But we're going to go configure IP, and our default IP address is 192.168.1.10. Our subnet is going to be 255.255.255.0. And this is not necessary, but I am getting ready to do some networking videos with this also. I'm going to put a gateway in of 192.168.1.1. Now let's go ahead and download that. And if you need any help downloading your program, or you're not even sure how I created it, just hit that subscribe button. We have lessons on all of that. Then let's double click on our global variables. And first, let's go ahead and test our inputs. So starting with input 4, our green button, yellow button, red button, blue button, switch 1, switch 4 left, and switch 4 right. Now let's check our lights of our outputs. So if I check output 0, we get a green light. 1 gives us a yellow light. 2 gives us a red light. 3 gives us our blue light. And okay, we're going to stop now before we check our pneumatic outputs because we want to make sure we understand exactly what's going on here. So first, let's switch off our pneumatics. And we're just going to listen for the clicks here. And when I check output 4, the solenoid is turning on and off right here. Now this is a single solenoid valve, mainly because it has a single coil on it. Notice this one has 2 coils on it, or 2 sets of lights that are going to energize. So it's going to be a double coil. So if I check output 5, this one's turning on and off. And if I check output 6, this one's turning on and off. Now let's talk just a little bit about pneumatics. This is hardly a pneumatic lesson because I'll be honest, this has a very thorough set of pneumatic lessons, but I want to go through enough that we can understand it as controls people. On our incoming air, we do have a shutoff valve, but it's a little bit more than that because if it was simply a shutoff valve, it would seize that air exactly where it's at. But when we switch it on, it's going to put air on it. But if you listen, and you probably won't be able to pick it up on the mic, but if you listen to yours, when you switch it off, there's a slight hiss. And that is actually relieving the pressure on this line. Now let's talk about what that actually means for us here. So right now I have the air pressure on. Now we'll come to this one in a second, but mainly this one is the double solenoid. And if I just lightly put a little pressure here, this won't move. If I shut this off, that should mean that the air was stuck in there if it was a regular shutoff valve. But since we have that dump, now we can simply move this back and forth. Now this is not a pneumatic lesson. Festo has an outstanding pneumatic lesson series on this. But we're going to turn our air on and talk about our 2 types of solenoids. So we did have this one, which was the double solenoid. And in fact, let's go ahead and put some labels on ours where they're fresh on our mind. Let's go over here and let's go offline and open our global variables back up. And starting with input 4, that is going to be our green button. 5 is going to be our yellow button. 6 is going to be our red button. 7 is going to be our blue button. 8 is going to be switch 1. 9 is going to be switch 4 left. 10 is going to be switch 4 right. And then we'll go down to our outputs. Output 0 is going to be our green light. Output 1 is going to be our yellow light. Output 2 is going to be our red light. Output 3 is going to be our blue light. Output 4 is going to be our single acting cylinder. Output 5 is going to be our double acting cylinder, advanced. Output 6 is going to be our double acting cylinder, retract. Now, just so we can start learning about these solenoids, we're actually going to connect them to button 1, 2, and 3. Button 1 is going to be our double acting solenoid. That's the one that only had 1 coil on it. Button 2 is going to be one side of that double acting solenoid, and button 3 will be the other side of it. So let's right click our programs, add ladder diagram, then double click on prog 1, and let's bring down a new rung, and we'll bring down go look for our 1 and an output energize, and we're going to put the green button, and this is going to be our single acting cylinder. And actually, let's just right click it and we can copy it. Right click, paste, right click, paste. And so this will be our yellow button, and this will be our double acting cylinder advance. This one will be our red button, and this will be our double acting cylinder retract. And we'll go ahead and download that. I didn't mention it before, but if you need any help downloading your program, configuring your drivers, or I went too fast through any of that, we have lessons on all of that. So just hit that subscribe button. Next, let's test and make sure our coils are working. So we press our green button and we are definitely getting illumination here, and we can hear a solenoid operating. I'll spin this around in a second so we can talk about it. We press our yellow button, we get this solenoid here. We press our red, goes the other way. All right, now let's spin this around where you can see what's happening. So this is a single acting cylinder. So what that means is it's only going to pressurize one way to push down. And notice there's not even a line on the other side. So it's going to be a spring return. So when I press the green button, it's going to go down. And when I let off, spring tension is going to retract it back out of the way. Now, in this case, we did have that double solenoid. So if I press the yellow button, this cylinder is going to advance, and I press the red button, this cylinder is going to retract. That's a really quick primer. Festo has an excellent series educating you on the pneumatics of this. In fact, that's probably the highlight that I really liked of this one. But this gets us set up so their IO is integrated with our PLC. And now we're ready to start thinking through the steps to program what it needs to do. Once you've tested your IO, click here to learn about that.